Congratulations, Rico, on the publishing of your new children's book. I'm Laura Marks, and I am Rico's niece by marriage. And I have my digital copy right here, available in digital and hard copy. I'm going to talk a little bit about the book and why I like the book. Looking for Haven is a heartfelt children's story that strongly underscores the importance of teamwork. As Victor and the other dogs navigate a world without humans, they quickly learn that survival is not something that they can manage alone. This is a powerful lesson.
What if you could make more money with books and multiply your impact with your book without selling thousands of copies? Would you want to find out just how to do that? Well, that's what this show is all about.
Hi, I'm Hennika Watkins Porter, speaker, coach, author of Podcast Power, inviting you to listen to the Authorpreneur Secrets podcast, brought to you by Ruth Taylor, best-selling indie author and the Caribbean's most trusted voice on entrepreneurship. Get ready to dominate entrepreneurship.
It's episode 210 of the Authorpreneur Secrets podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Ruth Taylor, and today's show is going to be very interesting. In addition to the latest in my entrepreneurship ventures, we are going to be talking about a pet-inspired book. And we are going to be hearing excerpts from a book launch and interview with the Nunez family. We are celebrating the publication of Looking for Haven by Enrico Nunez. It's a children's book inspired by the family's dog, Victor, who passed away, I think, in 2017. And I'm sure you don't want to miss that. So stay tuned.
Your book is the perfect spark to get the fire going in your personal life, career, business, or ministry. Light that book spark today.
All right, let's start with the latest in my authorpreneurship ventures. Well, from calling to completion, my Triple Treasure celebration for 2026, that will be on May 9, 2026 at 4:30 p.m. Central on Zoom. And you have to register and confirm attendance to come, and you have to get a copy of the book. So already I have sold one book and I have confirmed the doctoral panel for the event. I am trying to confirm the MC so that I don't have to MC. I'll co-MC because I'll be sharing the segment with the doctoral panel. We want to share tips and strategies to help those who are considering doctoral studies, or you're already in a doctoral program. Maybe you're struggling. We want you to finish. Now, this celebration is my birthday. I'm celebrating the completion of my doctorate and launching the book From Calling to Completion. So from calling to completion, I have sent the manuscript off to the printery, and we're going to do the final proofreading. And so if you want to be part of this celebration on Zoom, you have to confirm your attendance and either pre-order the book, either the e-version on Amazon for $2.99, or you can pre-order a print book at authorpreneursecrets.com/triple treasure 2026. I'll put a link in the show notes. And I have converted my dissertation to a book called the Authorpreneur Secrets Blueprint. And I've designed the cover for that, and I'm going to be getting that book edited soon. So if you want to convert your dissertation to a book, and learn how you can leverage that book for greater impact and income. Turn your book into a business card. Use that book to build a transformational program and create sustainable income. You can let me know. So you can write to Ruth at authorpreneursecrets.com or send an email to admin@BambuSparks.com, which is my publishing services business. Oh, I certified Colette Guthrie as our newest publishing coach and our first certified book formatter. Now, I have been training persons in book formatting for 6 years, I think, since 2020, but this is the first time I've certified one of those that I've trained. So congratulations to Colette Guthrie, who recently launched her Fibroid Reset program based on our book, Freedom from Fibroids. The book is titled Journeys, a 21-day devotional of hope and empowerment for those living abroad. And Sheril has lived in Japan, and now she's living in Canada, and she can tell you a thing or two about migrating and thriving abroad. And Sheril is Jamaican. So I'll put a link to her book in the show notes, and our people just keep publishing. Now, from the Small Book Big Impact Challenge, I still have something outstanding. I haven't sent all the completers their certificates, and I want to do that. Now, BambuSparks Publishing is having its book publishing tour and author meetup. Now, BambuSparks is a publishing services provider that equips independent authors with the services that they need to produce their books, which is intellectual property that they can use to boost their ministry, personal life, business, whatever you want to do with your book. We provide the services for you to do that. We kickstarted our book publishing tour on April 5, which was Easter Sunday, at Bethel Deliverance Ministries in Spanish Town. And we were able to sell copies of our Pages of Hope and some of my other books. So you see, book tours sell books, events sell books. And our Pages of Hope testimonial notebook and journal is where you can share your testimony. We're looking for 100 testimonies in the next year. Ideally, we would love to have 1,000 testimonies by 2030. We're looking for short testimonies, whether it's your Christian testimony or if you've overcome something to achieve success. And you can also produce a short version of your book, a summary version of your memoir, your story, and it can be featured in our Pages of Hope testimonial notebook as a sponsorship. And then you get a percentage of the sale of the first 1,000 copies of the book. So you'll get these journal and notebooks to sell. And when you sell the first 1,000, you get a percentage of that. So it's both income and impact, because testimonies and stories build resilience, and they encourage and they change people's lives. And BambuSparks is all about building legacies and changing lives. So you can use our Pages of Hope notebook for general notes. I think I'm on my third one because I think on paper, and I use it for note taking. I use it for idea generation. And of course, when I read the inspirational true story at the back of the book. So I want to thank Bishop King and Ron King for hosting us on Easter Sunday and praying for us. And I want to thank those who purchased books. So if you're in our author community, or even if you're not in our author community and you want to invite us to come to your workplace or your church, do let us No. And you can send an email to admin@BambuSparks.com. That's the latest in terms of my entrepreneurship ventures. So on April 10, I got to meet Enrico Nunez and one of his daughters. Enrico Nunez has written a fascinating animal adventure, children's action adventure book driven by animals. And like I said, we work online. Enrico is in the Jamaican diaspora in the US, and we were able to link up. And it was a good meetup. You know, when you've been working with somebody for over a year and then you finally meet them in person, it was a good feeling. Now, Enrico's book is all about, you know, dogs and other animals looking for the humans who've disappeared. So if you watch the Left Behind movies, or as a Christian, you know about the rapture, this is kind of similar. All the humans have disappeared and the dogs are now looking for the humans. So Enrico is a businessman. He was born in Jamaica. He now calls Florida home. He's a general contractor by trade and an artist at heart. He used to fill his daughter's childhood with imaginative stories inspired by his beloved dog Victor. Looking for Haven is his debut book, and through it, he's sharing joyful adventure stories with children everywhere. And in Jamaica, we have something called Read Across Jamaica, where one day each year, authors and leaders go to school to read a book, and we promote literacy because, you know, books change lives. And so BambuSparks is supporting the Read Across Jamaica Day, and we are doing a Read Across Jamaica book drive. It will extend beyond the day because, you know, we started last year a back to school drive in communities affected by Hurricane Melissa. And we want to get as many of our culturally relevant books in the hands of young readers. And so you can go to BambuSparks.com/book drive to donate books to this cause. And we are supporting 2 schools in Westmoreland and 2 in St. Elizabeth. We are to confirm the 2 in St. Elizabeth, but we've confirmed the schools in Westmoreland. We had Enrico's online book launch on Friday the 10th of April, and we were able to get donations. So now we have 16 books. We want to donate 100 books, 100 Looking for Haven books to the schools out. Again, I'll put a link in the show notes. But without further ado, let's get into highlights from Enrico's book launch. And we looked at fun facts about dogs, especially American dogs versus Jamaican dogs. And there is a video that we put together on that we're going to show. So enjoy. I'm so excited about this book launch because we're going to be talking about our favorite pets, especially dogs, because this book was inspired by our pets. It was inspired by a dog named Victor. You're going to learn more about him. And if you can look at the cover, we also have a cat there. We have a bird. And we're going to find out all about that. It is often said that a dog is a man's best friend. And if you haven't gotten your copy, I want you to go get your copy. So I am doing this live with my pet, and my pet is Tia. So what pet do you have? Do you have pet dogs? Do you have pet cats? All right. So
Let's welcome the family to the stage. The author of the evening, Enrico Nunez, his wife, Jacqueline Nunez, and his daughter, Kimberly.
Hello.
Hello. So let's get the conversation going. We want to talk about some fun facts about dogs, especially American dogs versus Jamaican dogs. And since you guys are Jamaican, when you moved to the US, what were some of the things that you discovered that was kind of like a shock to you? Let's start with Enrico. Differences between Jamaica, how Jamaican treat dogs, and Americans, how we treat dogs.
First, we grew up in Jamaica. Dogs are outside and we are inside. In America, we are inside and dogs are inside. They grew up inside with us, which was not normal in Jamaica. I mean, I've seen it more happening now in Jamaica, but that back in when I was growing up, that wasn't normal. You know, so when we came to the US, it was different.
That's true.
What about you, Jackie?
I see that advocacy and concern is very high here. 80% of Americans are concerned about the welfare and protection of their pets. There's over 90 million dogs here in the US, and the majority of them are in a family home. So that just tells you how high the concern is for their pets, and taking care of them and making sure they get the best care, health wise and loving wise. So yeah, very important here.
So pets are like part of the family. What about you?
Definitely.
What about you, Kimberly?
Well, I only ever really got to experience having pets in the US. But I've been in Jamaica for about a week now, and I've seen a lot of stray dogs around the place. It seems like that's kind of a problem here. But when we had Victor, who inspired the story, I would say he was a little bit spoiled. And I got comments from mommy and daddy sometimes about how they couldn't imagine a dog being this spoiled in Jamaica.
So right. What about how Americans feed dogs versus how we Jamaicans feed dogs? What about that?
Well, in Jamaica, it was turn called meal and every scrap
chicken back
from dinner, leftover fish, leftover chicken, whatever was left over went in this big pot. So nothing was wasted, and then you stirred up with cornmeal and fed the dogs. Versus canned food and
dry food
for dogs in America.
And dry food.
We couldn't feed them scraps because they were so delicate.
Yeah, kind of.
Yep, and very expensive.
Yeah.
I agree. And who do you think is stronger? Let's start a little war here. Jamaican dogs or American dogs?
Jamaican dogs.
Jamaican dogs.
Jamaican dogs are strong. Jamaican dogs are survivors.
They have to be, yeah.
Yeah.
And before we talk a little bit about the dog who inspired this story, Victor, I'm going to share an interesting video that talks about America's dog obsession. And you see, because America is obsessed with dogs, every American needs to get this book. All right? Because it honors and it celebrates dogs. So let's go to that video.
But how deep does this obsession go? Today we're talking about America's dog obsession and some pretty wild facts. But how deep does this obsession really go? Well, it's bigger and way more expensive than you think. Okay, first up, let's talk numbers. The sheer scale of this is pretty mind-blowing. So get this, the US has more pet dogs than any other country on the planet, period. We're talking over 90 million dogs living in American homes. It's just a massive number. And with that many dogs, you know Americans are spending a ton of money on them. How much money? Try over $100 billion every single year. And that's not just food and vet bills. Think doggy spas, hotels, the whole shebang. All this spending really points to a huge cultural shift. Dogs are way more than just pets now. You know it. In so many homes, dogs are treated just like another member of the family. So if they're family, how do you celebrate their big day? With a birthday party, of course. Yep, dog birthday parties are a real thing. We're talking dog-friendly cakes, decorations, even other dog guests. And this human treatment doesn't just stop at parties. It goes right into their closets. Dog fashion is a massive industry. Sweaters, raincoats, Halloween costumes, you name it, they wear it. Okay, which brings us to the most modern twist on this whole dog obsession, the digital world. Believe it or not, some of the most famous American celebrities today actually have 4 paws. I'm not kidding. We're talking about dogs with literally millions of followers on social media. And yeah, they're making real money from brand deals and sponsorships. It's a legitimate career. They're not just pets anymore, are they? They're personalities. And they're even brands. So let's recap. A massive population, billions in spending, parties, fashion, and even online fame. From the raw numbers to social media stardom, it's clear dogs are a huge part of the American fabric. So what does this super deep relationship with our dogs really say about us?
All right. So you get that dog parties. Have you ever had a dog party, birthday party?
No.
No, but now thinking about it, we should have. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's trendy. There is a Jamaican dog on Instagram that now has thousands of followers. His name is Rex. So Rex has a whole crew. So, you know, Jamaicans are becoming more Americanized. I even saw recently on Instagram where in Portmore, which we want to make a 3rd city, that they have a park dedicated to animals. See, there, Portmore gets Jamaica's first
Wow.
dog park.
Wow.
I'm like, is this
That's
Jamaica
nice.
or is this America?
Very nice.
So maybe one of these days we can pack some books and go to the park and see what is happening and mingle with. And somebody asks, are the mongrels invited or is it just pedigree?
That's a good one. All are invited.
All are invited. And then somebody in the comments said, do not call them mongrels. They are Caribbean terriers.
Oh,
A name for that.
Sophisticated.
And most
Okay.
of us discovered them, they're brown terriers, when the Canadian animal people came out, and a lot of Jamaican dogs. You hear Kimberly talking about the strays, and they collected all of these dogs and took them to Canada, and they were in clothes and eating all kinds of luxury food, and it was quite the rave in Jamaica, how these dogs got visas and we cannot get visas. So that leads us to Victor. Talk to us about Victor. Who was Victor?
who's going to start?
Okay. Victor was our family dog when me and my sister were kids. I think I was around 9 or 10, and Sarah, my sister, was around 7. One of our family members couldn't take care of her dog anymore. So I don't remember if she brought him.
She asked us.
Yeah, she brought him to stay with us, and we fell in love with him because we ended up keeping him. And the first thing I remember about him was when I first saw him, his eyes were this deep brown, and they to me looked like human eyes. I couldn't get over it. He was this little. He had white fur. He was a Shih Tzu mix. This pretty little tail and this dainty little trot that I'll never forget. He was a really sweet dog.
He was. There were times when, whenever we used to go to the park a lot, and we still do, and you could not mention, if you said park, or if he saw that you were packing up the car,
and you guys
with the park stuff, he would just get so excited. It's like, yes, we are going to the park. Mm-hmm. And he was just full of excitement, and he just made us laugh so much,
But what are some of your fondest memories of Victor, Jackie?
I remember when we were packing up to go to the park, whenever we were going to the park, Victor he would just know, he would just see the things going into the truck or the car. And it was like, yes, eyes were bright and the tail was up, and he'd start with the zoomies. It was just pure excitement. And even for going on walks, you could not say the word walk. You couldn't say a word that rhymed with walk, because he knew what the word walk meant. So Victor was very smart and very happy, and we did our utmost best to give him the best life that we could. Mm-hmm. Those are things I remember about him that makes me happy.
Okay. What about you, Enrico? You wrote the book, but what's your fondest memories about Victor?
We used to go for walks with the kids. And I would walk in there, and I had the scooters, and they would put the chain on the scooter, and Victor would just take off with them down the road, and I would chasing after them to stop Victor so they wouldn't crash or, to run out in the road. So that was one of my fondest memories, apart from carrying for walks. But part of the walking was going to become part of the story.
Awesome sauce. What about you, Kimmy?
Some of my fondest memories also were when we used to take Victor for walks. Like Daddy said, he used to pull me and my sister when we were on the scooter. Thinking about it now, we probably should have gotten him a harness.
Yeah.
Poor thing. And then when we used to take him to the park, he was always so well behaved, but he could sense when we were getting close to the park, and he would just start whining in the car, and it used to drive us nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it was cute how excited he used to get. So the annoyance turned into a fun memory.
I love it. So let's turn the tide a little. How did Victor pass away, and how did you guys honor Victor's life with his passing?
He was 2.5 years old when we adopted him from our family member. And when he got old, he started having health problems. I don't remember if it was a tumor. I think it was a tumor on his liver or one of his vital organs, and it was getting harder for him to go on walks. And you could see him struggling. And then one day he just kind of had a seizure. It was a combination of old age and health problems. We had to go to the vet with him that day.
And what happened after? You just took him to the vet?
We had to put him down. And I was actually looking into his eyes when the vet injected him. And then I think we got him cremated, and eventually we went to
his paw print. We have his paw print. And the box that his ashes were in, and we kept it for a long while, the ashes, until we decided to take him to the park, and we dispersed his ashes in the water. And then park warden came over. You're not supposed to be doing that. So we're like,
it's organic matter.
Yeah. Oh wow.
It was sad though. I mean, you know, even up until recently, I still get dreams about him, and part of me feels like he's visiting me in my dreams.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we really loved him.
You know, it's amazing because, you know, it's similar when to humans, when people are around, you know, it must have been very sad having the dog so long. I remember when we lost a dog that we were very attached to. We called him Skeezer. He was a Caribbean Terrier. And Skeezer I don't remember what happened, but he fell ill and he passed away. And I was in high school. I think my sister may have been in high school as well, and my brother, and we had a funeral for our dog.
That's awesome.
I mean, a real funeral that we dug a grave and we gathered around and we talked about, you know, our remembrance of Skeezer, and we honored him. And even though we were in the inner city, that's what we did. Now I'm recognizing that's an American thing.
Oh, yeah.
It brought us closure, and we still have fond memories of Skeezer. So for those of you in the chat, if you had a dog that passed away, how did you choose to honor the dog, or what did you do when your pet passed away? Did you have a funeral? I've seen where people even get a coffin, in a doggy coffin and different things. And so the pets are really part of our family. So HF Saran says, Rinky and Dinky need to learn a little more about proper hydration.
Well, they're puppies, so they didn't know any better.
They didn't know any better.
They'll grow up and learn.
Right. So dogs and pets in general are indeed
saying
family.
that.
Kim.
Oh, hi, Hector. And
Kim.
Okay, and then we have somebody, Akila, talking about the book. I love Leonidas in the book, but keep Rinky and Dinky away from him in the next book, please. Now, for those who haven't read the book, who is Leonidas?
That's the lion.
Oh, so that's this big guy here on the cover.
Yeah, and the two little pups. Two little pups are looking up at him.
That's Rinky and Dinky.
They're in love with him.
This look like a scene, you know, out of Isaiah 61, how the lion and the dogs will lie together, and birds. Do they all get along?
Yes.
Wow, we need to read to find out how is that possible. Well, let's talk about the making of the book, since we're talking characters. How did this book come about? What role did each of you play? Because it was a family project. Let's start with Kimberly. What was your role in this process? Then we'll go to Jackie, and then we'll come back to Enrico. What was your role in the making of this book?
I've been calling myself Enrico's creative assistant. It's really just a fancy way to say that I helped with the editing.
This is what it looked like when I wrote it.
Yeah.
She translated it into proper English.
So he gave me the pages and pages and pages that look like this. Mm-hmm. And then I had to decode everything and type everything up. It was fun.
Pages and pages is not an exaggeration.
He had everything handwritten.
So you see, we're coming from the old school, handwriting, and then you have to get it on the computer. Okay.
I can't type.
You can't type?
No, not at all.
Oh, wow.
You're faster than I type.
What about you, Jackie? What was your role?
I provided support and encouragement. If he needed advice, I would try to give him the best that I could with the editing and the piecing together of his ideas. I was the liaison between you, the publisher, and my husband to make sure that meetings were arranged and setting up the Amazon account and anything to do with, making the book, finish in a timely manner, and make it the best that it could be. Of course, with help of, without BambuSparks, it would not have been possible. So yeah, pretty much that's what I did.
Thank you. And Enrico, talk to us. What is this book about? And what inspired you in terms of, give us the core of this book and what motivated you to write it. We know that it was inspired by Victor, but talk to us.
Well, it's a story about a dog trying to find his human friend, but he has all his friends. They try and they come together, unite, and they can't find the humans where they live, so they go. So they figure a place called heaven, but they can't spell, so it's heaven. So they go look. But heaven is where they go looking for the dogs, which I think the humans are at, which mysteriously in the second book might be where they are at.
All right, hint for book number 2. But I believe you said one day you were watching a show.
All right, so if you want this story now, how the story came together was there was a series on TV about what happens to the world when if humans were to vanish. They showed what happened to bridges, power plants, cars, houses, buildings, what the deterioration to these places are, but they never really spoke about what happened to the animals. I was thinking about it and said, well, what's going to happen to the small dogs or the dogs? I know the big dogs are going to form packs, but the small dogs would be at a disadvantage. So I figured that maybe if a bunch of dogs came together, they're stronger together. So that's where the base of the story started. Then where were the humans? How would the story evolve? They had to go looking for them, but they couldn't find them. They're anywhere in the neighborhood or in the surrounding neighborhoods. All the animals on the planet, what's going to happen to them?
If you want to find out what happened, go get the book, Looking for Haven. It's in hardcover, paperback, and ebook format.
Well, remember, I'm an artist, so it wasn't hard for me to conjure up ideas of what I wanted for the book.
Images.
Mm-hmm. So the cover, Daddy came up with the idea, and we had a friend do the illustration for us on the cover, and then the rest of the images in the book were courtesy of BambuSparks.
Which I gave them the ideas of more.
Yeah, so Daddy came up with the ideas.
Some of the ideas, yeah.
For how he wanted the pictures to look, the illustration.
Right. So that's a part of the process that we call storyboarding. So where you have the text and you have to describe what you want in each scene, and then turn it over to the graphic designer to do that. So the author, that's an essential part of the process, the storyboarding and that work. So Natalia, thank you for managing the project so beautifully and for helping with the illustrations. The illustrations were done by a young man out of, was it the Philippines? I don't remember. He did a fantastic job. What was the most challenging part of the journey? Because you're working and, how did you sort that out? Because when you have a full-time job and you have this massive project, what were some of the challenges and how did you overcome them?
The challenge was to write any stuff down so Kimmy could decipher them and type them out to get it to you guys. While working at the same time, running a business, starting some houses in a different area. It was, challenging. Sometimes you're tired and, we sent the script to you and you sent us back to edit and to try and edit it back
and forth, yeah.
We also got into some squabbles about how certain sections should be phrased and ordered.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
So yeah, she helped me a lot. And Jackie liaison with you guys was a great help.
Yeah, she's a great project manager.
Teamwork.
The teamwork. So you guys modeled the very thing that underscored the book, because the book showed teamwork, and then as a family, you work together to make it happen. Can I say congratulations again? All right. Yes, Jackie, you were saying something before we played the song.
Yeah, I want to thank you on behalf of my family and I. We would like to thank BambuSparks for all that you did, the professionalism and expertise that you displayed, the company displayed from the inception to the completion of Looking for Haven is remarkable. I found working with BambuSpark very enjoyable and easy to work with. Always responded in a timely manner to our questions and concerns, helpful, friendly, and easy to communicate with. Dr. Ruth Taylor is an exceptional publisher and owner of the business, and she has that expertise under her belt. Thank you. Thank you to you and staff.
Thank you. And thank you on behalf of Natalia as well. Without Natalia, this would not
work. Yourself. Yeah.
All right. So Sarah is one of Enrico's daughters. So you've met Kimberly, and we're going to meet the grandchildren.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sarah. I'm Enrico's daughter. And then this is my son, Richard. This is
Amelia.
This is Enrico's granddaughter. We call Enrico Pop-Ups, and we just wanted to say a huge congratulations to Pop-Ups for this book. We absolutely loved reading it. There were some parts that were very funny and others that were very heartwarming. And the story of Victor was actually inspired by my childhood dog and Enrico's dog from a few years back. Victor was a very special dog to us. He held a very, very special place in our hearts. And in fact, quite a few of the characters in this book were inspired by real dogs that we've had and known throughout our lives. So that was a extra special touch with this book for us. But Pop-Ups did an incredible job writing this book. Emmy, what was your favorite part?
When Victor safely unites us from the cages. I mean the sanctuary.
Yeah, that was a really, really sweet part. She absolutely loved this book. She belly laughed so many times reading this book with me. So we just wanted to say a huge congratulations again. Pop-Ups did an incredible job writing this. We love you, and we cannot wait for part 2.
Congratulations, Rico, on the publishing of your new children's book. I'm Laura Marks, and I am Rico's niece by marriage. And I have my digital copy right here, available in digital and hard copy. I'm going to talk a little bit about the book and why I like the book. Looking for Haven is a heartfelt children's story that strongly underscores the importance of teamwork. As Victor and the other dogs navigate a world without humans, they quickly learn that survival is not something that they can manage alone. This is a powerful lesson. Each dog in the story brings different strengths, and they must work together to overcome challenges. The book does a wonderful job of teaching young readers that being a part of a team means putting the team's needs ahead of their own. Victor and his friends show bravery and teamwork, reminding readers that even in the most frightening or unsure situations, that working together can make all the difference. Again, congratulations on this book, Rico. Looking for Haven delivers a meaningful message. Teamwork builds grit, friendship, and hope when it is needed most. Wishing you the best of luck.
Thank you so much, Laura. I trust that you found those highlights inspiring and entertaining, and that you will support our book drive, our Read Across Jamaica book drive. Help us get more books in the hands of young readers, because readers are leaders, and we want our children to become leaders and to change the world. And as you support the cause, you're also helping our authors to sell their books. And so it's both impact and income for our authors. And so we want to thank you if you've already supported, and encourage you to spread the word. Remember, of making many books, there is no end. So go pen it to win it and dominate authorpreneurship. Ta for now, until next time.